Hi, it's John, and welcome to the channel, 6:10 a.m. It is Sunday, May the 11th. It's Mother's Day today, so I tip the big blue mug to all the mothers out there. I hope you're having a great day today. I had some difficulty coming up with the topic this morning. I thought about doing a video on treaties 6, 7, and 8. Those are the ones that the natives say allows them to own everything in Alberta, including where I'm sitting right here in Southeast Calgary, which they don't. I'll wait till another time to get an expert on about that. And I've got some things hopefully planned for the next week or so, which I'll tell you about before the end of this video. But I'm concerned, and that's why you clicked on the card you saw or the thumbnail. I think darkness is coming for people who are involved in the independence movement here in Alberta. And I don't necessarily believe that's from inside. I think we do have a problem still. There's no leader of this movement. Big problem. I did a video on this, which I'll put a link in the description so you can watch that. But I think the powers that be, meaning those people outside of Alberta, people in the East, people in government, are going to go after the independence movement in a big, big way. Ezra Levant is having a couple of town halls with Rebel News this week, Monday in Edmonton, Wednesday in Calgary. Ezra, I missed out on getting tickets. It's sold out. If you can get me a ticket, I'd like to go cover it, whether you see this or not, but I'd love to be there on Wednesday night. But he covered this in the promo for these town halls when he said this.
It's one of the things that we're going to do at Rebel News is show some respect to everyone in this debate, including Albertans who have had it with trying to convince Ottawa to stop hating the West. We're going to treat them with respect because I think you're about to see the biggest smear campaign ever. It'll make the trucker convoy smear campaign look like nothing. The entire establishment is about to shout and scold and insult Albertans all at once.
Ezra is concerned that the propaganda machine is going to go in full swing against the independence movement here in Alberta like it did against the convoy, and I think he's right. I think there were other things too, which I'm going to get to in just a moment. I supported the convoy because I didn't accept the narrative by the government. We were misled regarding COVID. People ran with it though. They believed everything they were told and they spread the anti-convoy stuff online like wildfire, and that's going to happen with Alberta independence. Already happening. I'm a traitor. People threatening people who want to leave Canada. It's sedition, things like this, but there's more coming. The ignorance out east is ridiculous. I've mentioned it here on this channel. Here's Warren Kinsella, who writes for the Toronto Sun. People actually read garbage like this. Alberta's separation would leave the rest of Canada feeling cranky. Good luck getting oil to markets, landlocked Republic of Albertistan. This man is ignorant. He's typical of what people believe out east. They don't bother finding out the truth. Rick Bell, who works for the same chain, the Sun chain, but out here, out east, he gets it. Ottawa, you have a problem. 2 out of 3 Danielle Smith voters want Alberta to leave Canada. Jeff Rath, who I've cited here before, listing a number of things that would likely change if Alberta were to leave. I don't know whether all of these things will change, but a number of them will. We'll be better off without Canada. But people like Warren Kinsella, the ignorant man that I just stated a couple of moments ago, he doesn't bother to actually look into the story. Hell, the guy went down and supported Kamala Harris, for Christ's sakes. Jeffrey Rath again, and then you get this Chase Yaremchuk guy, not really sure where he's from, no economy, no access to Tidewater, no access to oil, no banks, no military, no currency. He reads Warren Kinsella, that guy. He's ignorant. Fred Stenson, I hope Premier Smith was listening just now in a full house in Edmonton's Rogers Place saying, "Oh, Canada," with great volume and conviction before the puck drop in Game 3 against Vegas. Who cares? That's what I said. I don't care. Canada's dead to me. They're at a hockey game. Elbows up. Jesus Christ. But then we get into the ugly stuff, and this is more of what we're going to start seeing. Now, I'm not sure this is about the U.S., but expect this to come very soon. In fact, some online YouTubers who talk about the separation movement, who are more conservative leaning, are already being connected to Russia. They're being paid off by Russia. Just to let you know, I'm not being paid off by Russia. I sit in my basement. Nobody's offered me any money to do this. Yes, and we've known for some time that this is the reality, is Russia co-opting U.S. far-right groups to attack Western democracies. People are saying that this is what's going to happen with the Alberta separatist movement. Expect this. Expect this. You will be attacked because of this. Now, moving along Cheering for your country to fail if your preferred party prime minister wasn't elected into power is the opposite of patriotism. That's not true, Jay Hunter. I think I followed this one up as well. If that's what you think, you need to think again. That's what I said to this guy, because I said in my speech, this isn't about who won the election. Something else I have read online since Monday. So this was 2 Saturdays ago. This is about respect. We have earned it, but we get none. Talking about Alberta. For decades, this province has been asking for respect. In 1987, Preston Manning started the Reform Party with the saying, "The West wants in." We never got there, and almost 40 years have passed. Mr. Manning properly read the room a few weeks ago and wrote that Alberta separatism would rise if the Liberals won the election, but this movement would have progressed whatever party came out on top. There is always another government around the corner that's hostile to Alberta and the West. That's what I said in my speech in Edmonton at the Independence rally a couple of weeks ago, echoed by Danielle Smith.
That is why a large majority of Albertans are so deeply frustrated with the results of last week's federal election. It's not that our preferred candidate and party lost. That happens in a democracy. It's that the same Liberal government with almost all the same ministers responsible for our nation's inflation, housing, crime, and budget crisis, and that oversaw the attack on our provincial economy for the past 10 years, have been returned to power.
It didn't matter who won the election. Canada is broken. It's a mess. It's a basket case. Watch my video from yesterday. It needs more hits. It was a good one. Put a link in the description. And just a quick reminder, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Thanks. Back over to X, Alberta memes question, should Alberta be more forgiving to the East? Answer no. The end. Moving on. I get the Canadians want to keep their country together, but I don't get why Canadians hate Albertans so much. I can't tell who they hate more, Smith and Albertans or Trump. You'd think Canadians would want the best for them, but I guess they just want the best for themselves. The reason why they hated us is because we're different. The East is not like Alberta. We are a distinct society. Sound familiar to those of you who know a little bit of Canadian history? Alberta is a distinct society. We don't mesh with Eastern Canada. We're more like Northern United States, like Montana, than we are like Eastern Canada. That's why they hate Albertans so much, because we're different. My view is that if Alberta succeeds in succession, that you would witness an unprecedented net migration to the province. Many would want to escape Liberal authoritarian rule and the high tax regime. Thoughts? Well, my thoughts concern Canadian are people are already coming here because it's better. More people move to Alberta every year than the rest of the provinces combined because it's better, even though we're in a shit country like Canada. Now, this is an issue. What's his name? Cameron Davies, head of the Republican Party of Alberta. I'm concerned about this as well. I think this is the fringe group in the separatist movement here in Alberta. I think they should get together with the rest of us, work together. Cameron Davies threatening to run against Danielle Smith in the next election if he doesn't get a referendum. We're going to get a referendum, Cameron. I've contacted Cameron. Don't know whether he got my message to talk to him here. I think they can be a great bonus for the independence movement, but I'm concerned about the Alberta Republicans. Who says your vote doesn't count? The Quebec riding of Terrebonne flips to Liberals after recount shows candidate won by a single vote. They're very close to a majority now, the Liberals. They're going to get it. Another reason why the independence movement is on the rise. Another reason why we need to be successful. Another reason why the darkness is going to come and there's going to be a propaganda machine working against us out here in Alberta. And it's rather frightening. Now, the other thing people need to understand out east is we feel about what's happened to us, meaning Alberta, the way you feel about what's happened to you regarding Donald Trump. Danielle Smith said it great just the other day.
Well, maybe the best way to describe it is for people to examine how scared and fearful they are that Donald Trump will crush their economy. That's how scared and fearful Albertans are that the Liberals will continue to crush our economy.
If you're part of the independence movement, be prepared for anything. I think the leaders of this movement need to be prepared to be called racists, anti-Semites, Islamophobic, you name it. It's all going to come out with their knuckle draggers, things like that from out west. Bunch of hicks, rednecks. Traders, it's been said, the media will be involved, federal government's going to get involved, they're going to be spreading the propaganda in a big way. Psy-op kind of stuff, influencing people online who are too ignorant to understand what's going on out here in Alberta and what's been going on for decades. So expect that. That's what I'm really expecting to happen. Now, I'm not a big channel here. Nobody's got in touch with me to want to give me money to try to undermine Canadian democracy, but I certainly would report it to CSIS if that were to happen. Now, early this morning, 4:30, I sent out 4 contact messages to 4 different people, prominent people involved in the independence movement here in Alberta. I hope I hear back from some of them. Who knows if they get the messages? It's hard to contact some of these people. You will know most of them and probably have seen them, but I have some different questions to ask of them than they've been asked before by other YouTubers and media people here in Alberta and in Canada. So hopefully I'll have more on that in upcoming weeks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. We're approaching 35,000 subscribers here, so be sure to do that. Also, ring the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up on the video. That helps out the channel immensely. More people will see the video, and I will see you in the next one.